Lost track of the forest through the trees, forgot what I was chasing. Spent so many nights living out at sea that my heart is gone vacant. And everybody who was close to me all stayed on dry land. So now I'm driving back on Interstate West. I just gotta feel something. Not gonna wait till the...
It's a gorgeous day out here. We've had a cool start. We're getting ready to start doing some stuff associated with the new walkway / boardwalk area. But first I am going to go do my daily Pokemon and go up to the Taekwondo school and get Johnny's certificate from his testing this past weekend. We had another dot release go on last night. I'll tell you the actual release number in a minute. No new function for us. Yeah, the door's back to operating normally. That's a plus. And this dot release was 2020.12.11.5. I just want to note that I'm out here in perfectly bright sunlight again, and my lights are on. Not the parking lights or the daytime running lights or whatever you'd like to call them, but the actual nighttime headlights are on again, still. I dropped it down there on the floor and I already took off my little disposable glove, but I've got Johnny's little certificate and a board for him to use a hand braking technique on. So mission accomplished. Who knows if any kids will actually get to use the splash pad this coming summer, but they're over there doing repairs, getting ready to open it if they can. Ruby's lights are now off. I had toggled them from auto to off and back to auto, and that didn't do any good. But I guess when I got out at the Taekwondo studio and I got back in the car, they're now off. So no rhyme nor reason, just currently off. Or auto. Auto not on. So I'm back weed eating. I'm home. I asked Dawn to put these screens back up. You might remember year before last, the deer ate all of my daylily blooms. Last year we put up the screens over here and they didn't bother anything. So Dawn's gonna set them up for me. Be nice if I finished weed eating first. Aren't you gonna be a great husband and set them up for me?
Fine, I sure am. I don't want those things turned into deer food.
That's right, no deer food. Alright, I'm calling that good enough. It will grow up in there over the course of the summer, but at least these plants aren't choked out. So that's good. So while I've been pulling weeds and running to the Taekwondo studio, Don's been repositioning and finessing how he wants to use the radial arm saw.
Right.
And he's putting in a little workbench for himself over here on the side of the carport.
Yep.
I've got my big camera set up on the hawk's nest. There are some crows giving the hawk a hard time right now. I wanted to go trim a couple of limbs, but I can't do that because poison ivy wouldn't have bothered the hawks. It's much closer to me than them. Typical later in the season shooting problems. So now we've learned about putting both thumbs on the middle C, and I recognize that tune, and it's both difficult and fun to play at the same time. So Dawn had built the fence for the saw yesterday and had it on a couple of sawhorses, but he wasn't really happy with it, and the more he thought about it overnight, he wanted to move it over here to the side and get it leveled up and just, you know, work on making sure it was ready to go. He says he's about ready to
use it to cut something.
Yep, test cutting something. So what's up next?
I've got to put a receptacle way up there.
Yeah, it turns out the cord doesn't reach to either of the two outlets nearby. And then Don said that way a kid couldn't come up, and
Yeah, if I unplug it from up there,
it's less likely somebody'd
Kid's
fool
gonna-
with it.
somebody's
They'd have
gonna-
to really intentionally be wanting to do some.
cut their hands off. That's
Yeah,
fine.
so. Cool. Breaking Donnie's heart to take down that little sweet gum tree, not.
I'll be glad to put all the sweet gum trees you want.
Really, it's pretty thick in here. I don't think we'll miss that. That limb right there is the one that was causing me the most trouble. That's the deer alarm. Look, I, you know, don't love the fence thing here, but it sure beats coming out one morning, waiting a few days before 25 daylily blooms are ready to open and realizing that the deer decided to eat them. So we don't leave it up all year, but right before the blooms, it's just the right thing to do. We don't need to see a grown woman cry over flowers. So Don's got it covered up, wired up, and ready to rock and roll. No mail? What the heck?
Nothing. No mail, no bills, no nothing.
Wow, well the no bills part's okay. And Don did get his pork rind delivery from Amazon this morning.
The important thing came, those single serving sizes of pork rinds.
It's wing night tonight. These are ready to go in the oven for the final baking. Round one out of the oven and ready to eat.